I
What's
know that
good?
ain't. Oh, whoa.
What's good, John? My man can't even get it. Can't even get into the video, nigga. Hey, what's good with y'all, man? Welcome to What in the World? By the way, it's Straight Savage Network, man. Um,
Hey,
I don't know if you
hey,
can make out the title, man, but I think we got a doozy in front of us, man. This is the video that we about to react to, man. And it's saying that a newlywed husband discovered his wife is a trans and murdered him. You know what I'm
bro,
saying?
how
Now
long
the
was
murder
you with
part ain't
this
cute,
man, young? How long
but
was you with this man?
but hey, we gonna hear the
You
story, son. But we gonna hear the story because I got some questions on Bucks that I want to ask. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just go ahead and hear the story, son, because maybe some of the shit will be explained in the story, son. We just gonna get this joint rock.
alright.
We just gonna get this joint rock.
Golly.
Turned out to be a lie. Could you handle the truth if the person you love had a secret that could destroy everything? In this true crime case, we reveal the horrifying story of a husband who discovers a shocking truth about his wife, one that ends in a brutal, grisly murder. In Houston, Texas, a newlywed husband uncovered a secret so dark, so devastating, that it led to one of the most gruesome crimes the city had ever seen. This isn't just a story about a hidden past or broken trust. It's about a marriage that spiraled into pure horror, shocking even the most hardened detectives. The secret was deadly, and when it came out, it tore lives apart in the most brutal way. On the outside, Marcus Johnson and Ebony Davis appeared to be a picture-perfect couple. Their love story was one straight out of a romance novel, the kind that friends envy and strangers admire. Both Marcus and Ebony were Black Americans from the vibrant city of Houston, Texas, where they first met at a community event organized by their local church. Marcus, a tall, muscular man with a rugged charm, was a 32-year-old construction worker with deep ties to his family and community. Raised in a strict conservative household, Marcus grew up with strong values and a sense of pride in being a provider. He was known for his hard work and dedication, a man who had his life together. His friends often joked that Marcus was the kind of guy who would take care of everyone before thinking of himself. He was a protector, someone who held traditional values close to his heart, especially when it came to marriage. Ebony, on the other hand, was stunningly beautiful. At 28, she was the kind of woman who turned heads wherever she went. Tall, with a glowing brown complexion, captivating dark eyes, and an infectious smile. She worked as a hairstylist.
So why you laughing, son? You know what I'm
Nah, he said, he
saying?
said, he said she was stunning and she turned heads, and I was thinking like maybe they was trying to figure out what that was. Like, but
Yeah, he said you stupid, son. You stupid, cause I don't know, man.
I mean,
Building
think
a name
about
for
it.
herself in the local beauty scene. People admired her confidence and charm, but what drew most people to Ebony was her warmth and charisma. She had a way of making everyone feel special, and it wasn't long before Marcus was drawn to her like a magnet. Their courtship was quick but intense. Friends and family were surprised at how fast things moved between them. Within months of their first meeting, Marcus was bringing Ebony to every family gathering, proudly showing her off as the one. She fit seamlessly into his life, quickly winning over his mother, siblings, and close friends. Marcus himself had fallen fast and hard, so much so that within a year, he proposed. Ebony, with tears in her eyes, said yes without hesitation. To the outside world, it seemed like they were living a fairy tale. But beneath the surface, cracks were starting to form. Cracks that Marcus couldn't see, but would later become impossible to.
So the crack this nigga need to be worried about is ass crack, nigga, because that's the only crack you see, nigga. There is no coochie there, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like my
So,
goodness, though.
like, they didn't have sex at this point. Like, I'm missing something. Like, how did y'all get to the point where you taking this junk to your family and your mom's love her? Like, how does this happen? and you don't know that this is a man, fam. Y'all ain't had sex at this point. Like he might be saving himself for merge or something like that. I need more information, more details on that. Because I would assume that you would already cracked by now before moms even met this junk. I know that may not be the way that you should do it, but that's just normal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't it?
No, I feel you. That's the way niggas be doing it nowadays, man. I got a deeper joint, right? It mentioned he met this joint at a church event. Ain't nobody at the church hit this nigga to the fact that that wasn't a woman, son. You know what I'm saying? She was fooling
Yeah.
everyone at the church, young.
Yeah, food is moms.
Son, what happened to women's intuition, son? The mother couldn't tell. You know what I'm saying? And that's a red flag, Marcus. You know why? Because women don't usually like other women. You know what I'm saying? When they come to, you know what I'm saying, they're men. The fact that your mother loved her should have let you know, Bucks, that her might not be a her. And she said she was a tall joint, right? So this nigga was probably looking you in the eyes and even talk. Hey, son, you gotta look for the red flags, man. I had to stop messing with tall youngins because I couldn't tell if they were men or not. It's getting harder and harder to identify these guys, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's rough for the tall women out here, young, because of
And
these
I like
things,
tall
man.
women,
I
son. Those
know
are breeders, nigga. You
all
got you a
men love
bona
tall
fide
women,
athlete.
but these niggas is making it hard for them.
Cuz,
Making it hard for them. And this shit
uh,
here, I don't know how he bamboozled like everybody,
and
even the
all right,
moms. I would have thought the moms would have sniffed that out, but
I gotta
damn.
hear I gotta hear the other side of the story, right? Because he didn't go meet her parents or his parents. There was no baby pictures of this nigga. This nigga ain't come out just woman his whole life. At some point, it was a transition, the transformation, son.
You
He
ain't
didn't
see a
meet a
titty nip,
relative.
like you didn't see a titty,
Like,
nothing.
you know what I'm saying? What's this nigga's real name, son? His parents ain't named him Ebony.
Evan.
Come on, man. Let's continue, Joe.
Ignore. Their wedding day was a dream come true for both of them. Held in the historic Houston Baptist Church, it was a grand affair attended by over 200 guests. The ceremony was perfect. Marcus stood at the altar, his heart racing as he watched Ebony glide down the aisle in a shimmering white gown. She looked like a goddess. Marcus couldn't help but think how lucky he was to have found such a beautiful and loving woman. But even on their wedding day, there were subtle hints of unease, things Marcus brushed aside in the excitement of the moment. Ebony,
Hey, when something nudge you, nigga, don't brush it aside, man. It's nudging you for a reason, cuz. Nudging
Motherfucker.
you for a reason, dog.
Yeah. Ebony on the outside, but that's Eobard for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Eobard was starting to get excited.
Cool. Seeing something poking out of that white dress, nigga.
And nah, for real, like tall, you gotta be like drop dead gorgeous or like your voice. You can hear it in the voice. You can hear it in the voice. Because if a woman is yelling and you can still hear like it's a woman, you can tell that it's a woman yelling. All right, she's a real woman. The transgenders, they don't yell. They have to talk to keep that same tone. Because once they start yelling, the males start coming out. They got to keep that same tone, so they gonna talk just to keep that same girl voice.
Good. And that's an indication alone, right? If your woman is too calm all the time, won't get a
Facts,
slow, that's not normal.
facts, facts. That is not normal. If she too calm and don't say
Yeah.
nothing, don't snap at all. Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, if it's too perfect, yeah, 9 out of 10 it ain't.
facts. Facts. I'm gonna continue with
seemed distant at times. her gaze lingering in the distance, lost in thought. When they exchanged vows, Marcus noticed her hands trembling ever so slightly. He chalked it up to wedding day nerves,
Wait,
but there was something else there.
wait. Bro, we missed a whole lot, fam. We missed a whole lot. This story is too condensed. Where the fuck, like, how did you go straight to, yeah, I met this Joan, got they know moms, and now you about to get married. At no point did you fuck this Joan, son. At
Obviously
no
not,
point
son.
did you see, like, she ain't changed clothes in front of you or nothing. You know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't,
Like,
you ain't feeling that joint, nothing.
yeah, son, like, you ain't get to see how her titties look or not. Like,
Maybe
I'm
she was completely transformed. Maybe all that was gone.
nah, it's scars. You fuck out of here.
He
It's
was doing it the
scars.
right way or something. So hopefully
She
they'll
probably.
explain it. Hopefully they'll explain it. We'll figure it out because we
All
gotta
right,
figure out how he found out.
go ahead,
We got
go ahead.
you gotta figure out how he found out.
Something that felt off. Their honeymoon was equally luxurious. Marcus spared no expense, whisking Ebony away to the Caribbean for 2 weeks of sun, sand, and endless romance. Yet despite the beauty of their surroundings, Marcus felt something was holding Ebony back. She would occasionally withdraw, become quiet, and her eyes would take on a distant look, as if she were wrestling with something deep within. When Marcus pressed her about what was bothering her, she'd quickly brush it off, blaming it on stress or homesickness. "Don't worry about me, baby," she'd say, wrapping her arms around him, giving him the kind of smile that could melt his heart. But Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that there was something Ebony wasn't.
They said endless romance, son. So that means he had to been striking this joint, son. I had to have the
Striking
full
what? Striking what, son?
son.
What is you striking, son? That's what I'm saying, man. Come on, dog. That don't even make no fucking sense. What are you having sex with, bro? You acting like this your first rodeo, nigga. You ain't the 40-year-old version, son. So you sit here telling me you don't know the difference between the dookie shoot and the vagina?
They cut the joint off and pushed it in.
Nah, nigga, no, son.
That's what they do, son. They cut it off and they push it in. So
Man,
it's like a real thing. It's just
that
not attached to no uterus or no, it's not attached to no reproductive organs. It's just I don't know how it works. So don't get me trying to explain that. But I know the surgery make it useful in sexual conduct.
so you telling me they cut the joint and tuck it in. So that skin don't even feel the same, son. So vagina skin is like the inside of a mouth. Like that kind of skin. That ain't even the same skin. Once you insert it, you should have your nigga senses should have went off. Hold up. Wait a minute. You ain't all right. And I can't knock them because we 9 out of 10 we don't observe. We just assume yes, it's a woman and we go ahead and partake. But now this is a clear learning lesson for niggas out there. Y'all better start doing more foreplay. You know what I'm saying?
I say you ignorant. Hey, this nigga said y'all better start doing more play.
For real. Y'all better start, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go and start get the feeling and touching and shit, man. And you will
Hey
start
son,
figuring out what's going on.
let me ask you a question, son. You get married, that's your wife, son. You're not eating your wife, son.
Yeah, what you mean, son? Of
This nigga
course.
had to have he had to have been down there with close views, son. And
Son,
everything
son,
checked out to this nigga, son.
no, son. Everything don't check out. He's mentally off, son. It's no possible. He must not have had vagina that much because there's no possible way. I don't give a damn how good this. It's no surgery that good. You can't. They ain't make a clitoris, dog. They just made a hole, fam. And if
I
you
don't know
did
how
go
it goes.
down and eat that junk, nigga, you see reactions, huh? All that shit is phony, nigga, you ain't like, come on, son. He don't know what a vagina looks like.
Son, I don't know, son. I don't know, son. I know they look different. You know what I'm saying? Like every vagina don't look exactly the same, but they
But it
all
got
got
the same thing. But they
yeah,
all got the same thing.
yeah.
So you
I
can't
don't know,
create a
son.
clitoris, nigga. I don't give. Maybe you can. I don't know these surgeries no more. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can. Maybe he did get bamboozled, but that's we can't say it on here, but that's great. Yeah, yeah, because
Oh,
you deceived me, nigga. So
against consent.
yeah, that's if you deceive, that's in the definition. You can pull the dictionary out if you want to. You know what I'm saying? That's in the definition. You deceived me. I didn't consent
Yeah,
to this type of sexual activity, and I'm about to murder you. Oh yeah, you conned me and my family,
facts,
me and my loved ones. You know what I'm saying? It
facts,
corrupted my life. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? He probably a wholesome Christian brother, and you just he just like committed an abomination without even knowing it, young. You just Eve and Adam this nigga, young. Like, come on, son. And you a nigga, you not even Eve. Young, like, you be doing. Oh no, son. Nah, son. Nah, we gotta see the whole story though. Right now, it just seems like some treachery going on, and uh that's great. That's great. I'm just
That's
saying.
doing things, son. That's what we
That's
call that
yeah,
doing things.
doing some wild ass things, and I don't think they understand that that is not giving consent. That is deceiving somebody, and it is that is the definition for a word that you get locked up for and have to register under a certain thing for if you do it with younger people. But nah, you gotta register for it too. But yeah, that is stuff that you have to. Yeah, that is wild. That is
Right,
wild. But yeah, we go
right.
ahead then.
Let's see what that.
telling him. After the honeymoon, life moved forward as any newlywed couple would expect. They settled into
Sir,
their
wait,
small
what
but
the
cozy
sir,
home on the outskirts
nigga?
of Houston.
Wait, they are so. This story is too condensed, nigga. We went from they met, the moms loved them, and then they married after the honeymoon. It's for sure he was fucking this junk.
That's
Now,
what I said. When they
yeah,
went on the honeymoon, they said they took it to the Caribbean. It was endless romance. That's why I stopped the joint. It was like they had to have had the surgery because this nigga's in there at this point. He's slaying the dragon, son. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's in there, son.
I feel so sorry for him, son. Oh, I feel so sorry for him, son. Well, that is still a word for that. That is not giving consent, and that is deceiving. Whew.
Yeah, let's see what happens, son. Let's see how this joint took a turn.
A quiet neighborhood that offered them the privacy they craved. On weekends, Marcus worked around the house, fixing up the yard, while Ebony focused on growing her beauty business. It was the kind of life Marcus had always dreamed of. He had the perfect wife, a comfortable home, and a future that looked bright. But as the weeks turned into months, the unease in their relationship grew. Marcus began to notice subtle changes in Ebony's behavior. She became more secretive, locking her phone whenever Marcus was around and disappearing for hours at a time without explanation. She started working late, claiming she had more clients. But when Marcus dropped by the salon to surprise her, he would often find it empty. The excuses became frequent. Meetings with friends he'd never heard of, phone calls she would take in hushed tones. Marcus's suspicions grew, but he didn't want to believe something was wrong. He loved Ebony deeply, and the thought of her keeping something from him felt like a knife twisting in his gut. He convinced himself that he was overthinking it, that the stresses of married life were simply catching up to them. After all, no relationship is perfect, right? But the tension only increased. Intimacy became less frequent, And when it did happen, it felt strained. Ebony would turn away after, refusing to look Marcus in the eyes. She often seemed on the verge of saying something, her lips parting as if to reveal a truth she couldn't bring herself to share. It wasn't until one fateful night that everything unraveled. Marcus had always been the type to respect Ebony's privacy, but his growing doubts led him to do something he never thought he would. He decided to search through her things. While Ebony was out with friends, Marcus rifled through her drawers, looking for something, anything, to explain the growing distance between them. That's when he found it, a small box hidden in the back of the closet, tucked away under piles of old clothes. Inside, he discovered documents that made his blood run cold. There, among various papers, was a birth certificate bearing a name Marcus had never seen before, Elijah Davis. Confused, he dug deeper and found medical records dating back years, records detailing Ebony's transition from male to female.
Well, that is the worst way to find out. So what I'm hearing is what, self-defense is what you saying? Is that what we talking about? Self-defense?
Oh no. Oh no. But now we got the real name of this nigga. It was Elijah. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucking Eli.
Yeah, so Eli had a sex change, man. Eli had the whole shebang done. That's why this nigga couldn't tell nothing. Whoever Eli's doctor is must have been a stand-up nigga, man. He must have been in Brazil or something. Those are the ones who get boogie with that type of work all the time, so. You know what I'm saying? Or in California. Well, I don't know. This was years ago, right? Yeah, so it had to have been Brazil or some shit like that. But yeah, cuz, like, damn. But he should have known that, son. You don't get married to a joint and not know these type of things, nigga. You gotta meet family and friends and see childhood shit, son. Like, they move too fast, man. They move too fast. He was trying to murder. And there's the thing, man. If a youngin lets you hit too fast, man, it's one of two things. She either a complete slut or she's a man. You know what I'm saying? Only men move fast like that, son.
Now you have to question everything. If your girlfriend is perfect, if your girlfriend is perfect, if your fiance is perfect, if your wife is perfect, she might be a man.
Facts. Facts.
That's what I learned today. You know what I'm saying? Because my man had a perfect wife. And you want to know why that nigga was perfect? Because niggas don't fall out with their homies.
Facts.
That nigga found the best friend.
Yeah. If I was your best friend, I want you around all the time. You know what I'm saying?
That's bro for life. He found a brother.
Yeah.
He talking about something, yeah, my wife perfect. Hey, you probably could go to the court. She probably, you know what I'm saying? Y'all probably cooking niggas on the 2-on-2. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both getting buckets out there. She could throw a football 50 yards.
Hey, son, this nigga found out his wife was his husband, son. Hey, son, that's hard news right there, son. That's a hard pill to swallow, son.
See, and I was questioned when I was like, I gotta see if you athletic. I got to see if you got some type of athleticism in you. Cause I can tell there, if you could throw a ball 50 yards and it looked like you Mike Vick in that, like it looked like, hold up, fam. Hold up, fam. Like, what we doing here? Why can you throw that good?
Hey, son, I gotta see a full body pic of this nigga, right? You know what I'm saying? Because men bodies, no, listen to me, son. Men bodies aren't built like women bodies. Like, as far as their hips and stuff like that, son. It seemed like something would have.
You know, with all the surgery nowadays, young, he didn't Optimus Prime Megatron himself, nigga. He turned
No,
into a whole
that's
nother person.
That's Megatron, son. That's what you call a Decepticon, son. Deceive the shit out of this nigga, son. Deceptive, son. That's what that is. That is a Decepticon, son. You know what I'm saying? That's what
He
that is,
clearly
though.
tricked the whole family. So that's just here because I'm right now. I'm here in self defense. But yeah, we can listen to you know saying to what's going on.
Marcus's world stopped. He felt as though the air had been sucked out of the room. His hands trembled as the weight of the revelation crashed down on him. The woman he had married, the woman he had vowed to love and cherish, had kept this from him. Ebony had been born male, and she had never told him.
Hold up right quick, son. First of all, it's going to destroy you when you find out that your wife is your husband. Second of all, when it dawns in your mind that you're now gay and been gay for a while, son, that right there is enough to destroy a man, son. A man may never come back from that, son. You know what I'm saying? Because as a straight man, you just like pride yourself on that, right? But then when you find out that you've been gay, son, like Slim, you can't even tell your homies, son. What your homies gonna do, son? They gonna they gonna want to clown the shit out you, son, but they gonna have to hold back relentlessly. You know what make it so bad? Soon as you leave the room, they are gonna absolutely bake your ass, dog. You know what I'm saying? You can't even tell your friends, nigga. Like, you gotta hide this from everyone, son. Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's hurt right now. He's hurt right now.
Son, obviously, son. Obviously. All right, let's crank it.
Marcus, it wasn't just a secret. It was a betrayal of everything he believed in, everything he
Facts.
thought their relationship had been built on. His mind raced with a mix of emotions, anger, confusion, heartbreak. How could she have hidden something so important from him? The person he thought he knew felt like a stranger. This discovery would prove to be the first domino in a chain of events that would end in unimaginable horror. What Marcus didn't know at that moment was that his feelings of betrayal and anger were about to spiral into something far darker, something violent and deadly. Marcus sat in stunned silence, staring at the documents spread across the bed. His mind raced with questions, but no answers seemed to come. How long had Ebony been hiding this? How could she have deceived him about something so fundamental? For hours, Marcus remained in the house alone, the quiet ticking of the clock on the wall only amplifying his growing rage and
Hey, so you know what's so fucked up, right? This would be the night where Elijah come home looking for some dick, and you just found out this nigga's a nigga, son. You be mad as fuck. You be mad as shit, son. Hey, good. Man, I don't know what to tell this nigga, son. Let's continue on, son.
sense
He's
of betrayal.
disgusted.
When Ebony finally returned home that evening, she was greeted by the sight of Marcus sitting on the edge of their bed, her most intimate secret laid out in plain view. The moment her eyes fell on the documents, her face drained of color. She froze in the doorway, her hand tightening on the doorknob as though she were preparing to run. "You lied to me." Marcus's voice was barely a whisper, trembling with rage. He stood slowly, holding the papers in his hand like evidence of a crime. "Who are you, Ebony?" "No, what are you?" Ebony's heart sank as the reality of the situation hit her. She had always known this day might come, the day when her past would catch up with her. But she never imagined it would happen like this. She had hoped to tell Marcus in her own time, in her own way, but fear of losing him kept her silent for too long. "Marcus, please. I was going to tell you, I swear I was. But I didn't know how. I love you. This doesn't change who I am, who we are," she pleaded, stepping cautiously toward him, her eyes filling with tears. But her words only fueled the fire inside Marcus. "Doesn't change who you are? You've been lying to me this whole time, Ebony." His voice grew louder, more frantic, his mind struggling to process the
My bad, son. The irony in that, yeah, the nigga goes in there and say, this doesn't change who I am. Fuck are you talking about, son? Nigga, this changes exactly who you are. Nigga, you went from Ebony to Eli, son. Nigga,
Bitch
you
got
have
the
just
nerve to
changed.
gaslight the nigga. Gonna gaslight the nigga like nigga. What? You know goddamn well this changed me. I ain't wanna be with no nigga. The fuck you mean?
Oh my gosh, dude. This doesn't change. Yeah, they got to choose their words a little better, son, because that ain't right there. Cuz. I don't know.
It's a shock. You tricked me into marrying you. Do you know what you've done? I gave you everything. My love, my loyalty, my life. And this whole time, you've been lying to me about the most basic thing, who you really are. Ebony's tears streamed down her face, but she held her ground, desperate to make him understand. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to lose you, Marcus. You mean everything to me. I thought if you knew, you wouldn't love me anymore. Marcus's
Because the nigga's not gay, son. Like, what? Hey, son, that's man.
Like I
face
said,
twisted in fury.
Go ahead, son. Go ahead,
like I
son.
said, it is a word for that. You know what I'm saying? That's deceiving, and I didn't give you consent. That's in the definition for a word. You have to register yourself if you do and get caught. They will lock you up. I'm just saying. So I'm hearing self-defense so far, but keep the story going. Maybe maybe it wasn't. Go ahead.
You thought right. He spat the words with venom, his anger spiraling out of control. His mind was a whirlwind of betrayal, disgust, and confusion. The room seemed to close in on him, his once beloved wife now feeling like a complete stranger. The argument grew more intense with every passing minute. Marcus's anger was like a live wire, unpredictable and volatile, while Ebony was trapped between trying to explain herself and fearing what Marcus might do next. She had never seen him like this, so out of control, so full of hate. As Marcus yelled, pacing back and forth across the room, Ebony's heart pounded in her chest. She could see the rage building inside him, and it terrified her. Marcus, please, just calm down. We can talk about this. I'll answer any questions you have. Just please, don't do anything rash. But Marcus wasn't hearing her anymore. In his mind, everything he had built with her had been a lie, and he couldn't think straight. All he saw was red, his hands clenched into fists, his breath quickened. Calm down, he barked. You've been lying to me for years, and you want me to just calm down? In a blind moment of rage, Marcus stormed into the garage, his eyes landing on a hammer. Without hesitation, he grabbed it, returning to the house with a chilling determination. As Ebony stood frozen in the bedroom, her eyes wide with fear, Marcus approached with the hammer in hand. Without warning, he swung the hammer down with brutal force. Ebony screamed, trying to shield herself, but Marcus was relentless. Blow after blow, he struck her with a terrifying fury. Her cries for mercy drowned out by his blind rage. The walls of their home were soon splattered with blood as Marcus continued the savage assault. The brutality of the attack was so severe that detectives later described it as one of the bloodiest crime scenes they had ever encountered. But Marcus didn't stop there. Marcus dragged Ebony's lifeless body into the bathroom. His mind spiraled deeper into madness as he grabbed a knife from the kitchen drawer. The rage had taken full control now, any sense of humanity gone. He began to mutilate her body, slashing and cutting with reckless abandon, disfiguring her beyond recognition. By the time the authorities arrived, Ebony's body was barely identifiable, her face and body marred by Marcus's unhinged brutality. When the police finally broke through the door, the scene they encountered was nothing short of a nightmare. Blood soaked the walls and floor, and
Like I said, no, you gotta think, son. That's like he was in the moment. He's
I
not of that life, and he was deceived. And this is someone he loved and just proposed, just married, and all of this stuff. And this is a heated crime of passion type stuff.
son, hear me, son. And I know the world. Nah, for real, yeah. And I know the world is gonna get on me for this, man. Like truly is, yo. But that's the consequence for doing things like that, yo. You may not want to hear it, but you have to accept it. You know what I'm saying? When you deceive a man that greatly, and he's put so much on the line for you like that, the hatred that he's going to have towards you is going to be unquestionable. And that hatred that he has towards you is going to spew out into a hateful
Uncontrollably.
action, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Uncontrollably.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? I know it'll be a lot of women that sit there and be like, nah, that's not right. That's fucked up. Remember, the great book we call the Bible, or I call the Bible, says hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So I guarantee you, if a woman would have been deceived and portrayed in this same manner, her shit towards this nigga would have been even worse than that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you now, dog, although you hate to hear it, but those are the consequences when you deceive a nigga so greatly, yo. Death is in your near view, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, as I'm hearing it, yo, I don't even know how he made it to the garage to get the hammer. I'd have been, you know what I'm saying? Like off bucks. Soon as the door opened, I probably would have been crushing this nigga, son. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Because I can just only imagine being hurt that bad, nigga. It wouldn't have been no hammer, nigga. It would have been straight bare knuckle, nigga. You ain't, nah, son. We cranking, son. At this point, I'm like, yeah, you gotta go the hard way, yeah. Like, that's deep right there, yeah. That's deep right there, dog. Like, woo. I feel this nigga, son. The nigga was dead and he still couldn't stop. That just let you know how hurt this nigga was. This nigga was greatly destroyed.
Yeah, he was fucked up. He was
like
fucked
for
up.
real, cuz. Like for real, yeah. There's some things you just gotta accept, son. Just like you know, if you drink too much, you gonna get drunk. If you betray a stand-up nigga like that, son, he's going to kill you, yeah. Like it's just that's just what
And
happens, though.
Texas should understand since it's a big Christian state.
But they don't. They don't. All they see is it was a violent crime that was beyond measure that they usually see on the occurrence. But it is, I hate to say it, son, but it's justifiable, son. I can understand completely why he did that, though. You know what I'm saying? Completely. And anyone, if they was portrayed in that manner, would do that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Anyone, man, woman, boy, child, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Boy, girl, whatever, son. They would all act like that if you put that type of commitment out and you find out somebody just took you out of everything, son. That goes against his Christian values because the nigga was at a church. You know what I'm saying? Like you sinned against God unawares. You know what I'm saying? I bet you God ain't punish him for this.
That's a fact.
I bet you.
But I know
Anyone that
who
don't
did
agree,
get punished. That
nah,
man.
for real. To anyone that doesn't agree with what I said, because I know this gonna ruffle feathers, man. Anyone watching it, anybody that don't agree with that, leave that joint in the comment. I will pull up every Bible verse that justifies. I bet you God ain't punishing him for that. I bet you, young. I can guarantee it, young. I can guarantee.
I can tell you who he did punish.
Yeah, that nigga that's dead. That nigga that's dead, man. Ooh, nigga, you got crushed like that and had to go out and you got to face judgment off of them. Son, that's double death for you, son. That's double death for you, dog. That's the worst part about it. You got to go through double time with the death sentence, man. That's vicious for you, man. That's vicious for you, dog. Woo. Mm. You think they threw this nigga in jail? I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, they locked him the fuck up.
Let's see something.
In the middle of the room, Marcus sat, covered in blood, staring blankly at the scene he had created. His expression was one of haunting disbelief and madness, as though he couldn't comprehend the horror he had just unleashed. In a daze, Marcus grabbed his phone. His hands shook as he dialed 911, the weight of what he had done settling in. I killed her, he whispered when the operator answered. His voice was hollow, devoid of emotion. The operator tried to
That's how you know he was really a good dude, son. This ain't the type of shit that he into. He called them people and told them he did it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He really was hurt and he meant this shit. Like you know when people say I like if it was a man I killed him and you saying they just saying it, but they may mean it. He was one of them niggas who literally meant his words.
yeah. But he never said it, son. He wasn't intending that that was a man at all, son. It happened to him and it destroyed this nigga, son. It destroyed him, son. He lost himself. He
He
lost himself.
did.
He can no longer think logically. This
Fact.
nigga could no longer keep a composure. Son, this nigga was destroyed, son. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Marcus, hey, I don't, I've never been that destroyed before, but I can only imagine, son. Because a girl has made me mad. A real life woman has made me mad enough where I realized I wanted to beat all brakes off her ass, son. So I can only imagine how this feels to you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I can only imagine, dog. Well, I can't imagine, son. But seeing as what you went through and what you did to that nigga, son, I know it hurt very greatly. I know it hurt in a place you probably never hurt before, Slim.
Fact. He fucked up for life.
Yeah, and you was willing to risk it all. Logic couldn't even reach your ass no more, son. I know you was tore up, I just know you was, man. Anytime Logic can't reach a nigga no more, son, he's too far gone, son.
Yeah,
He's
he too far
destroyed,
gone.
man.
He
He's
snapped.
destroyed.
He broken. He broken.
In the itty bitty pieces. This nigga's Reese's Pieces over here, son. This nigga's done, son. Pia, leave.
To keep him on the line, asking for details. But Marcus could hardly form a coherent thought. All he knew was that his life was over. When the police arrived, they found Marcus sitting on the floor beside Ebony's lifeless, mutilated body, his face stained with tears, his hands covered in her blood. The man who had once been a proud, hardworking husband was now a broken shell, consumed by the weight of his actions. The news of Ebony's death sent shockwaves through their tight-knit Houston community. As the media picked up the story, the gruesome details of her murder and her secret were revealed, sparking a nationwide debate. Some painted Marcus as a man betrayed, while others condemned his actions as nothing short of monstrous. But in the end, nothing could bring Ebony back. What had started as a secret, kept out of fear, had ended in a brutal, grisly murder. When the police pulled Marcus from the blood-soaked floor of their suburban home, the full gravity of the tragedy became immediately apparent. Neighbors stood outside, horrified whispers floating in the humid Houston air. Blue and red lights bathed the scene in an eerie glow, reflecting off the shattered lives inside. But Marcus, still covered in Ebony's blood, seemed detached from reality, his blank eyes staring ahead as if he couldn't fully comprehend the nightmare he had created. The detectives who arrived on the scene were seasoned professionals, but nothing could prepare them for what they saw that day. Ebony's mutilated body was unrecognizable, lying in a pool of blood in the bathroom. The walls, once pristine, were now a grotesque canvas of violence. The entire house seemed to echo with the horror of what had taken place. A home that once symbolized love, now forever stained by death and betrayal. At the police station, Marcus sat in an interrogation room, his blood-stained clothes removed, replaced by a simple white jumpsuit. Yet no matter how much he was washed, the horror of that day lingered on his skin. Hours passed as detectives tried to piece together what had driven him to such unimaginable brutality. "Why did you do it, Marcus?" one detective asked, his voice steady but probing, trying to find a crack in the wall of silence Marcus had built around himself. For the first time since his arrest, Marcus looked up. His eyes, hollow and haunted, were filled with a mixture of sorrow and disbelief. I didn't know what I was doing," he mumbled, his voice barely audible. "I loved her, and she lied to me. She wasn't who she said she was." The detective leaned forward, his tone becoming more insistent. "So you decided to beat her to death? And then mutilate her? Do you realize what you've done, Marcus?" Marcus's gaze dropped again, and he remained silent, as if the weight of his actions was too much to bear. It was clear that something had snapped in him, a fragile mind pushed to the breaking point by a combination of betrayal, rage, and his own deep-seated insecurities. The brutal crime made headlines across the nation, not only because of its shocking violence, but also because of the controversy surrounding Ebony's past. The revelation that she had been a transgender woman sent shockwaves through the media, sparking debates on gender identity, secrecy, and the limits of trust in relationships. Some called Marcus a monster, a man driven by his own insecurities to commit an unspeakable act.
Fuck all that, son. Fuck all that, son. Like, hey, yo, I have nothing against transgender niggas or women, whatever you want to be, son. But like I said, you can't push that on other people, though. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do it. And like, cuz this is like, here's the thing, right? This would have never happened if cuz would have told him off Bucks, I'm a man.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Or I used to be a man. However you want to word it. I am a man. I used to be a man. Whatever. This would have never happened.
But Eli was selfish. Eli wanted to be married. He wanted the motherfucking to be a wife and all of that stuff. So he kept his motherfucking mouth shut.
Right. And here's the thing. You heard what they said. Eli said off the justification. I knew I would lose you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was better to lose that nigga than to lose yourself. And you obviously, he took you up out of here, man. Like, if you one of those, man, just be honest, man. Just say the joint up front and let the nigga decide, son. It's a lot of niggas out here that will still take you on, son. But the niggas that won't, you gotta let them walk. This is a message to the trans out there that's trying to get yourself a real one. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be flat out with the nigga, son. If he choose you, then that's his choice. But if you deceive a nigga out his choice, son, this is a possible consequence and repercussion that your ass will take on, man. Like, for real, dog.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's real, dog.
So I'm hearing self-defense. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing he was
disturbing.
Deceived. I'm hearing he was deceived. He fell in love with a woman that, well, what he thought was a woman. He found out he was deceived because he went through her stuff, which was in his house. Went through her shit that was in his crib and saw that she had documents of when she went from Elijah to Ebony. So now it's all hitting him in one moment, and he just reacted. Like, what you want the nigga to do? Just to sit there and be a robot? Nah, niggas got feelings too. He was at church. He's not gay. He's a heterosexual Christian man. You know what I'm saying? And it just sucks that the world now is harder for heterosexual male black man to just make it out here. Like, we are just everybody think we wrong in everything we do.
Facts. I wonder if they're gonna tell us what he was sentenced to. Hold on.
Framed him as a victim of deception. As the trial date approached, Marcus's legal team prepared to mount a defense centered around emotional distress, attempting to portray him as a man who had been so betrayed that he lost control in a moment of madness. The defense argued that Marcus had been pushed to the brink by the shock of discovering his wife's secret and the deep emotional toll it took on him. The prosecution, however, painted a very different picture. They presented Marcus as a cold-blooded killer who had brutally murdered his wife in an act of savage rage. Ebony's character was put under scrutiny, and her private life became fodder for the tabloids. But the focus remained on Marcus, whose actions on that fateful day would be dissected and analyzed in court. Witnesses were called to testify. Friends and neighbors described Marcus and Ebony as a happy couple, though some noted that Marcus had always seemed a bit controlling. As details of the crime scene were revealed in the courtroom, photos of the blood-splattered walls, the hammer used in the attack, and Ebony's mutilated body, the jury sat in shocked silence. One of the most gut-wrenching moments came when Ebony's mother took the stand. Her face etched with grief, She recounted how much her daughter had loved Marcus, how she had always worried about telling him the truth, but hoped that one day he would accept her for who she was. Her words hung in the courtroom like a heavy cloud. She just wanted to be loved, and instead she was murdered. After weeks of
That just made me mad.
Me too, cuz they tried to say this nigga was controlling, and I'm thinking to myself, so what? He's controlling with women. This wasn't even a woman. That don't even apply right now. Like that, like him being controlling in his relationship, that don't even apply right now. He was deceived by a man and reacted to it. What does the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Son, yo, the nigga mother gets on stage and say, because the mother knew. Obviously, there's no way the mother didn't know that there was Elijah, yo. You know what I'm saying? The mother loves it so much. The mother should have convinced cuz to tell the nigga that you're a man, son. Like, this nigga is a straight man. And he believes he's going into a relationship with 100% woman, son. Like, what did you, son? That just made me mad, son. The nigga just want to be loved. Who doesn't just want to be loved, son? But you gotta be loved in the confines of what you are and what you do and all that other stuff, son. Can't sit there and do that. I want to be loved too. But guess what? I'm not gonna go to a KKK rally and lie to these niggas and be like I'm really a white man because I got a fucking sheet over my head. And when they found out a nigga, what they not supposed to lynch me? Huh? What are we talking about here, son? Like, cuz. Retarded. Stupid. Fuck it, man. It's all dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's all dumb, dog.
testimony, closing arguments, and emotional pleas from both sides, the jury returned with their verdict: guilty of first-degree murder. Marcus showed little reaction as the sentence was read, his face a blank mask of resignation. He had gone from a newlywed husband with a promising future to a convicted murderer, his life now a shell of its former self. As he was led from the courtroom, Marcus glanced up at the gallery, where Ebony's family sat, their eyes filled with pain and loss. It was clear that no amount of justice could ever bring her back or undo the damage that had been done. Even after the trial,
her family, now these niggas pop out when she dead, nigga. Hear me out. I blame cuz. Now. It gotta be his fault, son. Cause there's no fucking way you met her family. Or, matter of fact, I don't even blame him. I blame everybody around him. Cause there's no way. There's no way everybody. There's no way this nigga deceived everybody.
That's what I'd have said. No, for real. If like in that case, I'd have looked up at all them niggas and be like, ain't none of y'all tell me the truth, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of y'all feel like I should have known that everything?
Had y'all told me this was a nigga.
Facts. This would have never happened if you'd have told me what I...
When I'm getting... Bitch, you could have just told me that this was a nigga. I wouldn't even have dealt with him.
Facts.
And they could have been alive with y'all. But nah.
Facts.
Son, get the fuck out of here, man.
That's what I'm saying. That shit just blew me, yeah. I ain't even gonna lie to you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, somebody had to die in this case, man, but the reasoning was well backed, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a well backed reason to have to take
and
it.
It seems like they wanted this, they wanted them to go because you ain't say nothing to prevent this.
Facts, man. Facts, no. Facts, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, they gave my nigga, they gave my man, charged him for first-degree murder. Although I wouldn't even be mad, son. I ain't even gonna lie to you. If I had to take a nigga out like that and they gave me murder for it, I'd be like, hey, look, man, it is what it is, dog. Like, I'm just gonna have to eat this charge, man. Cause honestly, here's the thing, right? I bet you if everything like this happened to him a second time, I bet you he'd do the same damn thing.
Nah, the second time he's not going to lose consciousness. He's going to be full aware of what the fuck he's doing. Ain't gonna be no blacking out. He's going to be full aware. Oh yeah, you motherfuckers got me fucked up. Y'all keep playing this bullshit. Yeah, he gonna be full aware of what the fuck he doing.
Ugh. Crazy, man. Crazy. See what they talking about. We almost done.
The case continued to stir debates online, racking up millions of views on YouTube as documentaries and clips of the trial circulated. Ebony's friends and supporters mourned the loss of a woman who had simply wanted to live her truth, but paid the ultimate price.
Son, how are you living your truth in a lie, son? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, young. You wanted to live your truth. You should have been said some shit, son. You didn't want to live a truth. You wanted to live a fairy tale. That shit does not exist. Not with that nigga, son. You could have found yourself another guy that's well willing to deal with a beautiful man, son. You know what I'm saying? There are them niggas out there. You just gotta get you one, yeah. Like the wording that they be choosing to do shit be fucking me up, son. Be fucking me up, man. She just wanted to be loved in her truth. You know, wanted to just live in her truth. What truth? She died because she lied. The fuck? I don't know, son. I don't know.
For it. They created a viral #Justice for Ebony movement that called for greater protection and rights for transgender people, bringing attention to the high rates of violence against the trans community, especially Black trans women. The house where Ebony had been murdered was eventually sold, but neighbors say it never felt the same. The horrific events left a scar on the community, one that would take years to heal. Meanwhile, Marcus's family tried to come to terms with the horrifying crime, with some members claiming they never truly knew the man capable of such violence. This case isn't just about murder. It's about how secrets, when buried too deep, can explode in ways no one expects. Ebony's life was cut short not because she wasn't brave, but because the world wasn't ready to accept her. Marcus's uncontrollable rage is a chilling reminder of the dangers that come when identity, trust, and masculinity collide in tragic ways. This case, sensationalized on across social media, continues to serve as a grim example of how deeply rooted fears and societal pressures can tear lives apart in the most brutal of ways.
It's a shame.
I think they're trying to cancel masculinity because what they're forgetting to acknowledge, who he killed wasn't a woman, it was a man.
Yeah.
So
It's
you're
funny
trying
how
to
they
sit here and give empathy just because they died, but they were killed for reasons that they created.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? You was killed for reasons that you created and your family aided in your death. Because everybody that knew that you was a man, nobody told this heterosexual male that had no idea. And I got to give him some blame too. You didn't peep you was such in la la land. You peeped no red signs.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
fam. Yeah, fam. You got to get some of that blame, but not to the extent where it's 100% your fault and you get charged with first-degree murder.
Facts.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And I think this whole like rise of like homosexuality and making them like be more valued than the heterosexual man started around what, like 08, 09?
Shit, I don't know, son. I just know it seemed like it just started getting heavy as hell. You know what I'm saying? In the past couple years, type joint, man.
This
Son,
shit crazy.
that's fucked up.
That's all the way fucked up, fam.
That's fucked up, man. Cause I can guarantee you, if Cuz would have told him that, offered it just the meeting, like, yo, I know you think I'm a chick, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a trans. Off the first bucks, I guarantee you he wouldn't have killed the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can promise you that he wouldn't have killed him. Even if it would have got to the first date and the nigga would have been like, yo, I'm a trans woman. I guarantee you he wouldn't have grabbed a hammer and killed this nigga with it, son.
Facts.
So it's just like, man, you want greater protection, nigga. The truth to set you free. The truth would have set this nigga free than a motherfucker, son. They'd still be live right now, yeah. Like, cuz. That's fucked up, young. That's fucked up. And now this nigga gotta spend, you know what I'm saying, however many years or not the rest of his life in a cell full of other niggas. Cause somebody that deceived him out of his right mind. Like, that's fucked up shit, man. That's fucked up shit right there, son. That's a fucked up case on both ends, man. On the fact that this nigga had to get killed so bad like that, and off the fact that this nigga had to feel that type of rage. Yeah, that shit was just fucked up, son. You can't lie to people, dog, because lies can potentially get you fucked up like that, son.
Facts. Living your truth, and your truth can't be like you can't live. Your truth can't be a lie. You know what I'm saying? You can't be living in no lie. Cause that way, you know what I'm saying, you gonna fuck somebody else over in the long run.
Right, because
You
that's
gonna
what you
drag
wanted.
somebody else down with your bullshit.
Facts, facts, because that's what you
That's
really wanted. You wanted to live your lie, and the nigga wasn't going for it, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what the real wording should have been. Just wanted to live that lie, yeah, and the lie wasn't accepted. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You tried to
Everyone's
bring
not
him into
accepting it.
your lie. You tried to make him live your lie too.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't be out here trying to make niggas live your lies with you, dog. If you gonna live it, son, either find somebody who's willing to live that shit with you, or live it on your own damn terms, son. But you can't deceive a nigga into that, son, and expect anything good or non-violent to come out of it, son. What the
Facts.
fuck was this nigga supposed to waste all this money on a divorce? Son, that'll cause a nigga to crush you. Now I gotta spend all this money to divorce you when we'd have never got married in the first place if I would have known. Come on, man. That's too much. Hey yo, but look, y'all, man. That y'all fucked me up right there, son. Like
Yeah,
I've never
that
seen
was
that
tough.
before. That y'all fucked me up right there, man. We gotta get something a little lighter on the next video, my goodness. You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, y'all, leave all your comments in the comment section, man. Tell me how you feel. Tell me if you. Well, I don't give a fuck if you thought I was right or not, nigga. I ain't about to change how I feel about the Drake. But still, I can debate with you, man. You know what I'm saying? We can have some debates, man. You know what I'm talking about? We could just, you know what I'm saying? Share feelings with each other, man. I'm not opposed to that. I ain't gonna disrespect nobody. You know what I'm saying? But anywho's, man. Y'all be easy out here, man. Good gracious. And tell the truth, please.
That nigga.